Alrighty, beautiful people, good morning. So another video, because why not? I've got nothing else to do, so let's just make videos and annoy people. No, but this video is a little bit different. So what I wanted to talk about was the necessity for grounding now. Sort of this in times of complete emotional uh, instability, mental instability, because it's been a hard 2 years. So many people have struggled. Mental health crisis is through the roof. Um, so what can we do about it? How can we, achieve some stability in our inner lives, as within, so without. So every time, if we can try and find inner stability, we can have stability in our outer lives. We can have more clarity, more control, and we'll be able to achieve the things we want to achieve a bit more smoothly than if we're trying to rush and be manic all the time. So what this was more about was getting in touch with those universal forces, um, really centering and grounding ourselves in our world, in ourself. So this is a meditation video. Um, it's just about finding self, finding that point of non-existence within self that is just it is a stabilizing factor at the core of our being, of what we are, as the central point of our universe. So, a teaching that I will often tell people is you are the center of your universe. So at any point that you are in the universe, you are at the central point of that universe. That's a concept a lot of people struggle with, I think, because obviously with external things, if we're looking at the external world, we see the sun as the center of our galaxy. So there's a conflict there. How can the sun be the center, but I'm also the center? Um, I think this is where confusion came, when we created the heliocentric system, and before that, having the Earth centric system, which I think, spiritually speaking, the Earth centric system is just as valid as the heliocentric or sun centered galaxy. I think the ancients knew something about the Earth as the central point of force. So we take this. Actually, you see it in astrology too, where actually the Earth, or you are the central point in your birth chart. So all these lines of force end up passing through you at different angles. But you ever remain at the center. So that is the first teaching, this, that you ever remain at the center of the universe, no matter where you are. No matter where you are, equal lines of force pass through you in every direction, spanning out the infinite expanses of this universe. So I had that realization one day when I was walking. I was living in Coffs Harbour. I just sort of, months prior to this, I've got a little bit of a cold, so if I keep sniffling, I apologise. But months prior to this, I'd been meditating quite extensively with the tarot. I'd learned a few new meditation techniques through my teacher, my mentor, and I went for a walk to the beach, or maybe to the shops. It was a long time ago now. It was probably over 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Um, and I was on my way back to the backpackers I was staying at, and a profound moment happened where it no longer felt as though I was walking on the planet, but rather that I was pushing matter around me. So I felt and realized that I had not moved. I had stayed central and stable, but everything was moving around me. I had pushed the earth, and it felt as though, like you sort of feel on a treadmill, of that pushing of the earth around me. So that was a pretty profound moment. And since that day, that gave me the realization that I had been the central point. and at the central point in the universe since the beginning. So, and that point will never change. I can never change where I exist because this physical body, as my physical vehicle of my soul, um, I exist in that everywhere I go. So everywhere I go, I'm at home. Everywhere I go, I am safe. Everywhere I am, I am. Um, so holding that I am thought in your minds. So realizing that simply I am. So let's do a meditation to sort of encompass that idea of being, of existing in a central point within the self. So I begin, as I always do, with relaxation exercises. So that is, tensing of the muscles and releasing, working from the feet upwards. So you squeeze in and tense the feet and toes. You work up through the calf muscles, thighs. It's just that process, just tense in. So sort of tense in, release. And you just feel your muscles relax into yourself. So um, once you've done that, rhythmic breathing. I use a 4-2-4 breath. So a very basic. I just enjoy the basic breathing techniques. There's so many, insane breath work out there. Um, I find for myself, it's just best to stick with the simple stuff. You don't have to get too intense on the breathing. Just a nice, steady, rhythmic breath. Um, and it's essentially that the in breath and the out breath are to the same count, and the amount of time you hold it for is to the same count. I say 4-2-4. It could be 6-4-6 for all it matters. It doesn't really, but it's a rhythmic breathing. So 4, 4. Excuse me. So anyway, the meditation is beginning with eyes, 90%, 95% closed. So you still have a small slit of light coming through. Your feet are shoulder width apart. You can do this cross-legged. I find it uncomfortable, so I stick with the Western traditions of sitting like an Egyptian priest god in a straight back chair. My office chair is not the best, but straight back chair, shoulders apart, legs shoulder width apart, hands gently resting on your thighs. Then you do your breath work. So get your rhythmic breathing happening once you've settled into that and you feel comfortable and relaxed. Begin to focus on a point of light forming in the center of your forehead, so at the third eye, which is the Ajna chakra, and just focus on that point for a moment. From the feet up, imagine that your body is folding itself inwards. So from the feet up, imagine that your body is folding itself inwards towards that point of light. And then your body disappears into that point of light so that you become that point of light. Now, this is you as the central sun, the nucleus of your own being. And hold the thought, the only thought, of I am. and just sit in that awareness. So bringing yourself into a state of non-being or non-existence or ultimate existence. So bringing yourself up from bodily being into a state of spiritual being, the I am principle, and sitting that awareness for as long as you need to. Sitting in the I am awareness for too long, sometimes you can come out a little bit like, oh, whoa, and really fluffy, airy fairy because, it's a state of non being. Um, that's just the first part of this process. So when I said you want to center yourself in non being, center yourself in self, center yourself in self, yes. So center yourself in that I am awareness, but then you want to ground out, um, and establish yourself again as a person in the world. So it's about then extending yourself again as a more refined being. Extend yourself from that I am awareness into being again. Stamp it out. Stamp it out, because sometimes stamping it out, tapping, do your stretching afterwards. Get all that energy circulating back through your body. And then ground that I am awareness back into the earth. I just do that with breathing, a simple focusing of the energies back down through the feet, and imagine it as connecting myself to the earth below. These are certain techniques that I'm sure there are similar things out there. This one was just one I sort of made up, partially myself, partially with teachings from my mentor. And yeah, look, very powerful stuff, especially the I am awareness, bringing your body, folding it up, and putting it into that, becoming that point of light or that point of awareness. Because you're connecting yourself to something entirely divine and beyond physicality, beyond the manifestations of the world. So that's very important. That's Yeah. Look, you're gonna have hopefully the profound experiences from that. Um, that's not even one you have to practice every day. Although when you get used to it, I recommend doing it maybe once a day, just all that folding and sitting in awareness, because you really will connect yourself and elevate sort of your vibratory state to connect better with divine consciousness. And look, in these times of complete sort of social instability where the world is so uncertain and unsure, if you can find that point of awareness, that point of light, that place within the divine, you can never be lost and you can never be uncertain. Your path will become clear to you. So, anyway, guys, that was my short meditation for today. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Keep on watching, because I'm going to come out with hopefully some more videos later on, either today or next week. So, take care, guys. Love you all. Bye.